What up, people, and welcome back to another edition of Todd Talks. Today, I am going to be recapping Game of Thrones, Season 8, Episode 5, The Bells. So I'm already let you know, I got a lot of feelings about last night's episode, but I'm going to try to be, I don't know, we're just going to get into it, okay? So, episode started off at Dragonstone. You see Varys plotting, committing treason, basically. He's writing this letter telling people about Jon's birth. We don't see what happened to this letter because a little girl walked in, but I think he probably sends that letter off because he's definitely writing a different letter later. But little girl come in, and I'm assuming that he was trying to poison Dany, because when she comes in, he's like, any news? And she was like, oh no, she's not taking any food right now. He was like, oh, let's try again at supper. So obviously he was using that little girl to try to poison Dany, because he was like later, like, hurry on back now because they'll be missing you in the kitchen. So number one off, that's why I just think he's slimy. I'm glad he died the way he did, because he always lived behind this thing talking about I serve the ram, I do what's best for the realm. So if you ever doing that, if you're doing it for the people, with all these rulers and kings that you've served and now queen, do you ever give them advice that's best for the realm? Because all I've seen you done in 8 seasons of the show is, whenever they don't do something that you don't like, you plot and manipulate and plot against them. And so it's like, come on, Varys. He goes, speaks to Jon, basically reveal to Jon that he know. Then you see Tyrion later, basically go rat him out to Daenerys. But Daenerys caught him on his bull, because he like, I know Jon betrayed me because he told Sansa. Sansa told you, and you did exactly what she wanted you to do. You spread the information more. And you told Varys. So yeah, Varys may be betraying me, but it started with Jon, and I know you betrayed me too. Which I'm glad he called her out on that, because if he really had Dany's best interest in heart, why would he tell Varys? Which I said that in my last Top Talk. That happened. Grey Worm go get him. Looked like he was writing another letter then, so he done wrote multiple letters to send out. And you know, she Dracarys him, and Drogon light him up. Execution, just like she's just not chopping heads off. She have her dragon light him up. That's basically. Oh, then she had her moment with Tyrion, where she tells Tyrion like, yo, my soldiers found Jamie trying to sneak in to King's Landing. So I listened to you again, spared your brother. He's betrayed me again. He running down there with Cersei. Like, if you fail me again, it's gonna be your last time failing me. And yeah, he ain't been nothing but a failure. And he failed, and then he goes and betrays her because he go and releases Jamie, which is gonna be interesting when she finds that out. I wouldn't be surprised she tried to like Tyrion. Hit on the point how Jon Snow was really made her feel even more lonely. Like, the first thing he say when he get there to Tyrion is like, oh, she don't need to be alone. But then he goes in there and literally alienates her more. When he can't, I guess, return her affection or whatever. So that's when I knew then it was about to be some mess, because she was like, I guess it'd be fear then. And of course, by the end of the episode, that's what it was. But I hit on that later. I'll say that for part 2. So I think after that, they go on to King's Landing. The parts I want to hit on was, it was really nice touch how I guess I almost used Drogon as a sneak attack this time. Came through the sun. It was hard to aim with the sun right behind him. Got in different areas because you see it was hard to like move the scorpions, and she lit up the Iron Fleet. Came through by, I guess, another way in the kingdom and blew up the walls. Like, so she did something a little bit tactically different to fight that battle, and it made some moves. And it makes you think, like, that's what she wanted to do when she first came to Westeros. So last season, season 7, and everybody talked her out of it. Tyrion talked her out of it. Varys talked her out of it. Jon talked her out of it. Lena was sitting over there talking about, you a dragon, be a dragon. And so you make think if she would have just did that then, she would have defeated Cersei last season. But nah, she had a list of these people, and now she done lost all these folks because she took their advice instead of, if she would just went to King's Landing and did just that, take down the army like she did at the beginning of this episode, she could have been had the Iron Throne. But yeah. So, I guess some other stuff. I'm going to say the Daenerys Mad Queen stuff for part 2. But with some other stuff I want to hit on, like during the battle. Really, you got the Clegane Bowl finally when the Hound finally fought the Mountain. But do the Mountain really seem like the Mountain anymore? Because he's like a zombie. So it kind of took the emotional states out of this battle, brother versus brother. Because he's like a zombie. He don't even bleed. Like, you get stabbed all the way through and you still alive. Like, it just was unsatisfying. Like a lot of stuff in this episode. Then you had all that time with you. Like, do y'all care about Euron? Please let me know in the comments if you care about Euron. Because I don't care about Euron. So having a whole section of Euron and Jamie fighting was like, why? Why are they fighting? Why are we wasting time with them fighting? How did he live when his boat blew up and swam all the way back and had the energy to fight Jamie? It's just like, I don't know. That was unsatisfying. And then, of course, the last thing that was probably one of the most unsatisfying things about the whole episode was Cersei's death. Like, standing down there with Jamie under the castle and just having the castle collapse on them. That was so whack. It was whack. Every significant character on this show has had a significant death. Ned got beheaded in front of everybody. Joffrey got poisoned at his wedding, the purple wedding. Catelyn and Robb and all of them died at the red wedding. Littlefinger got, like, slashed in front of everybody. Like, every significant person on this show has had a significant death. But Cersei, probably one of your most significant characters of the whole show, and Jamie, which they die with the building collapsing on them. Especially Cersei, who has tortured people, blew up the whole sept, like, just had my Sunday head chopped off last week. Somebody needed to kill her. Like, for a building, for the castle to fall on her was so underwhelming. Like, that had to be one of the wackest deaths of the whole series. And then to add that on top of, it was so out of character to have her there crying like that. Like, one thing Cersei has never been is a punk. The whole series. She ain't never been no punk. She always took her stuff head on. And when in season 2, during the Battle of Blackwater Bay, when she thought Stannis was finna come in that castle, Cersei went and sat her tail on that iron throne and was like, you can come in here, but I'm gonna kill me and Tommy before you kill us. And she was getting ready to kill herself and Tommy. She wasn't gonna let Stannis kill her. So you think I'm gonna believe that Cersei is just gonna stand down there with Jamie and cry and say, I don't want to die? It was out of character. It was weak. It was weak. and Cersei has never been weak. So back to Daenerys, right? So after the battle had been won, essentially, the Lannister soldiers done dropped their swords and gave up. The people are screaming, "Ring the bells, ring the bells." And Daenerys has this moment that she just stops and sits on top of Drogon, and then she goes mad, right? She turns into the Mad Queen. She flies off and just start burning innocent people. And after she burned innocent people, she's burning all the buildings. She literally just burnt up all of King's Landing. You even saw the image from Bran's vision back in like season 4 of that one dragon flying over and just really just laid waste to the city, right? And my question for the writers is why? I know I've been seeing a lot of tweets about how, no, this isn't character for Dany. Like, she been doing stuff like this the whole series. And some particular stuff they try to point out is they try to point out how her reaction to Viserys, I think that's his name, her brother, when Khal Drogo poured that liquid gold on his head, that hot melted gold on his head. They tried to, the tweet I saw like reference when she locked those people up in Karth when she left. But you have to, and then of course they talk about how she like execute people with the dragon, right? So when you think about all those, Viserys is someone who has said to her face on the show, like, I would let a horde of Dothraki rape you if it meant it got me closer to the Iron Throne. Hit her, abused her multiple times while she was pregnant. Okay, how is she supposed to react when her husband kills him? The people in Karth had lied to her, tricked her, stole her dragons. What's she supposed to do? And all the people that she executed was enemies or they had betrayed her. And you can't use those as excuses because every character on this show has killed somebody. Almost. And even in that, they have either killed somebody or executed them, whether they was a hero or a villain. Tyrion killed his own daddy and his girlfriend, right? Killed him. Shot his daddy with a crossbow, strangled his girlfriend to death. Jon Snow has executed people. He has executed people by chopping their heads off. He even, after he came back alive up at the wall, he hung those folks that killed him. And one of those little people was a little boy. Ned Stark, the most noble man in the show, right? Is in the very first episode, the first 5-10 minutes, he executed somebody. Cersei blew up a whole sept. Wasn't nobody calling her mad. Sansa sent them dolls on Ramsay. Ain't nobody called her mad because it was after somebody who had hurt her, right? Arya, how many people Arya has killed on this show? And so you can't compare those times to say, oh, Dany was leading to be mad because she did those. Even the screenwriters or the showrunners, if you watch the little featurette after the promo for the next episode on the HBO Go app, you know, they always give like their insights on the show and what happened. They even reference Viserys dying and that was a glimpse of that Dany was eventually going to turn mad. And I think that's whack. That is bogus. Because in none of her stuff, before this episode, she had never hurt innocent people. Right? She had only hurt her enemies. Or back in S8e5, she was hurting like the slave owners and the masters. Right? She had never hurt innocent people. And so I know that they done did it. They done made her mad. I don't like that they did that. And it's hard for me to see a character that, like, literally she had been my favorite character in the show. Or not my favorite character, because Grandma Tyrell was my favorite character. But she had been the person I was like, I would want her to rule. I would want her to end up on the Iron Throne. And so to go from that to what they have done with her character in this season has just been disappointing. And yeah, I know they only did it so they can kill her next episode, and all her fans won't be mad. But yeah, it was disappointing. It was not earned. And then I think one of the most things about it that didn't make sense is that during this whole time, now I know Missandei has said Dracarys at the end of last episode, right? Like burn him. But most of Dany's anger was towards Cersei. And she didn't even go get her. And so you're going to tell me that Cersei, the one that chopped off Missandei's head, the one that sent Euron to shoot one of her dragons, you gonna tell me that when she is lighting up King's Landing, that after she get through all the forces and the fight is over, before she goes and just light up innocent people, you don't think that she wouldn't go get Cersei and light Cersei up? In fact, they didn't even show Daenerys the rest of the episode. After you saw her take off and burn like the first people, they never showed her again. All you would see was Drogon off in the thing blowing fire. You never saw Daenerys' face again. And I'm like, this is it was so rushed, so not good. It really upset me. I'm really upset about that part of the show. It just... And I think part of the reason is maybe if this was like in the story arc, right? Maybe if they had been planning this for a while, they could have developed it more. And maybe they could have developed it more if they hadn't shortened these last 2 seasons to 6 episodes and 7 episodes. Because right now it's not earned to have her go mad like this. And so I guess next episode is going to be Daenerys versus Jon. And yeah, I just don't know what to think right now. I don't think that this is the way they should have took Daenerys' character. And so it was just confirmation for me that she's going to die next episode. She won't live. But we'll see how that happens. Yeah. But tell me y'all thoughts. Tell me what you think about this Mad Queen storyline and how you feel about Daenerys now. That's one of the things I want to know. How do y'all feel about Daenerys? Tell me what y'all thought about Cersei's death. Do you think Cersei got what she deserved or she needed more? Were you feeling bad for Cersei when she was under there crying? I thought Arya was going to die this episode. Tell me what y'all think about Arya and what that horse mean when she came up at the end. Tell me what you think this means for Jon and Tyrion going forward. Just let me hear y'all thoughts. Thank you for watching. It's Todd Talk. I know I was a little ranting a little bit this one because I'm kind of... Game of Thrones is a little disappointing me right now. It's disappointing me. But I'm going to be there next Sunday watching the finale. But see y'all later.